Attention, Rams fans. Two critical decisions are on the radar in Los Angeles and could completely change the course of the season. One involves one of the most complete running backs of the last decade, frustrated with the chaos in his current franchise. The other, a talented and unpredictable cornerback, could fall into the lap of a division rival if the Rams hesitate. We are at a key moment, with a direct impact on both the offense and the defense. Welcome! Show your support for the Rams by reaching 100 likes on today's video. Alvin Kamara's name is back in the spotlight and with force on the Rams' radar. The running back, a true yardage machine and versatile player, could be the missing piece to elevate Sean McVay's offense to a new level. According to a recent report by Brock Vieira, the possibility of a trade involving Kamara mid-season has gained traction behind the scenes, and Los Angeles is seen as the ideal destination. Kamara is coming off a 2024 season of personal redemption. Even on a completely dysfunctional team like the Saints, the number 41 accumulated 1,503 scrimmage yards in just 14 games, a figure that placed him back in the top 10 of NFL running backs, according to an ESPN survey of executives, coaches, and scouts. Even without reaching 1,000 rushing yards, he fell just short with 950. He was responsible for 26% of all the Saints' offensive yards. That alone shows his impact. The comparison made by Vieira couldn't be more accurate. Kamara today is a luxury sports car parked next to a rusty trailer. The environment in New Orleans is one of total reconstruction. With Derek Carr retired and Tyler Show stepping in as quarterback, the team around Kamara simply lacks competitiveness and protection. This, combined with the fact that Kamara is already 30 years old and has a cap hit of $10 million in 2025, raises the alarm. If the Saints want to extract value, now is the time to trade him. For the Rams, the technical fit is nearly perfect. Sean McVay's system has always prioritized versatile backs who contribute both in the running game and as a safety valve in the passing game. Kamara is that player. Since Todd Gurley, McVay hasn't had a runner with the same ability to destabilize defenses in multiple dimensions. It's worth noting that Kyren Williams is in the last year of his contract. He has been efficient, but he's not a constant threat in the passing game. Jarquez Hunter and Blake Corum, both young, are still developing prospects. Kamara would come in as an immediate star, splitting snaps with Williams and elevating the level of the backfield. And there's more. With names like Puka Nacua and Davante Adams on the outside, Kamara's presence would force defenses to open up the field even more. This would create comfort zones for play action and allow Matthew Stafford to explore the depth of the field much more easily. In other words, Kamara would be the catalyst to revive the hybrid and explosive offense of 2018 with the modern flair of 2021. The financial aspect also favors the Rams. Kamara's cap hit in 2025, $10 million, is high but manageable for the Rams, who have contract flexibility to absorb the cost without compromising the roster construction. In 2026, the value rises to $18.6 million. But since the contract has no full guarantees for that year, a potential restructuring or cut could be managed without major consequences. The ideal scenario would be to bring Kamara in mid-season, assessing his immediate impact and analyzing the evolution of the offense game by game. If it works, and all indications suggest it would, the Rams would position themselves as one of the most dangerous offenses in the NFL. If not, the team would have room to reevaluate in 2026. The most important thing, McVay has everything to get the best out of Kamara. The coach has already shown with Gurley, and more recently with the adjustments made around Nacua, that he knows how to put his players in advantageous positions. A motivated Kamara surrounded by talent and led by a creative coach would be a constant threat, and perhaps the missing piece to put the Rams back among the NFC favorites. If Kamara's arrival would elevate the offense to another level, the Rams' defense still has an evident hole, and a name that could fill it is available on the market. But if the Rams don't move quickly, they may see this reinforcement fall straight into the hands of a division rival. The alert has been raised. The second name stirring the Rams' backroom is Asante Samuel Jr. The cornerback, known for unpredictable plays and acrobatic interceptions, remains unsigned. And with each passing day, the idea that the Rams should act not only to bolster their secondary, but also to prevent a direct NFC rival from acquiring him gains strength. According to journalist Brock Vieira, the Rams' defense has faced criticism precisely for the lack of talent in the defensive backs group. Darian Kendrick and Trey Tomlinson have yet to convince, and the rotation in the slot remains undefined. Samuel Jr., despite coming off a season affected by injury, is the type of player capable of changing the rhythm of a game in just one play. The biggest debate surrounding Samuel revolves around his tactical fit. During his time with the Chargers, many analysts wondered if he was limited by Brandon Staley's scheme, which prioritized tactical discipline and predictable coverages. With freedom, Samuel is the typical ball hawk. He takes risks, pressures routes, and seeks turnovers. Yes, this comes with risks. He also gets burned frequently, but the aggressive nature fits with a front seven that can pressure the quarterback quickly, and that's precisely where the Rams have an advantage. The front, led by Kobe Turner and Jared Verse, promises to generate that pressure. In such a system, Samuel Jr. could play freely and attack the ball, just as he did in his best moments in the NFL. Even with the injury that sidelined him for most of 2024, the player is only 25 years old and has enough of a track record to deserve another chance. The problem is that the Cardinals are keeping an eye on him. According to CBS Sports, Arizona is emerging as one of the leading candidates to sign Samuel. They have cap space, around $36 million, and a secondary filled with inexperienced young players. Samuel, in that context, would arrive as a mentor and immediate starter, and in a system that could unlock his aggressive style again, as the defense is built around Budda Baker's reading. But if the Rams believe in their ability to develop talent and create an adaptable system, Samuel Jr. is a valuable target. The cost would be low at this stage of the offseason. The risk is calculated, and the reward could be very high. Furthermore, there is a strategic aspect involved, preventing a direct rival like the Cardinals from strengthening. Samuel Jr. alongside Will Johnson, recently drafted by Arizona, would form a dangerous duo for the coming years. The Rams need to decide, is it worth keeping him away from rivals or blindly trusting Kendrick, who still fluctuates between good games and defensive lapses? The coaching staff will have to make this choice in the coming weeks. If Samuel is not signed, the Rams will enter the season betting everything on names that have yet to prove consistency. If they close the deal with him, at least they gain a defensive X-factor capable of turning the game, for better or worse. If the Rams want to be more than just a competitive team in 2025, they need to make moves like these. Alvin Kamara would be a significant addition to an offense that needs controlled imbalance, someone who forces defenses to change the game. Asante Samuel Jr. represents the chance to give the defense a touch of boldness, unpredictability, and perhaps the decisive turnover at the right moment. My opinion, the Rams management cannot afford to wait. Kamara in McVay's system is a natural fit, and Samuel Jr., despite the risks, brings the potential for immediate impact to a needy secondary. If the Rams want to dream big in 2025, the path involves bold decisions, and they are on the table now. And you, Rams fan, would you bring in Kamara even with his high contract? And is it worth betting on Samuel Jr. or trusting the current young players? Comment below. I want to know your thoughts. If you enjoyed this content, leave a like,